Hello, gorgeous girls and beautiful boys, men and women. Dum, 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 dum. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And how have we been? How was our week? My week was good. I think I had a very chilled week this week. So yeah, my week was really good. It was really chilled. Not like chill though, but at least it was better than the previous week. So how was your week? You can tell me about it in the comment section. My name is Temini Kolayo and I am a product manager. So like I'm always saying, I started this channel for entry level product managers. I had like a retrospective on how I started, and I was like, it wasn't really so smooth. And I know that there are some product managers out there, entry level product managers, that they felt like, oh, probably if I had just somebody that is explaining some of those things to me, maybe I'll be able to catch on some of those terms, some of those product managements, like that. Maybe I would be doing better than I ought to, right? So that's why I just decided that let me start this channel. And yes, so thank you to all 200 plus subscribers. I really don't know, but I know it's 200 plus subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying with me, enjoying my yapping, picking one or two things, and yeah, thank you so much. So last week we were discussing about definition of done and definition of ready. So we did like an introductory explanation to definition of done and definition of ready, and we couldn't complete or conclude the introductory last week. So I said we are going to just complete it this week, and that is why we are here to pick up from where we stopped last week. So today's discussion is going to be the similarities and probably some tips and some mistakes to avoid and all of that. So that's what we are going to be talking about. But to refresh your memory, do you still remember what we talked about? Definition of ready. Ready is before we start. Everything that we need to start that project, we have it available. That's the definition of ready. Ready say green, say ready. I mean, is it green say yellow say ready and green say go? All right, so we have everything that we need to start the project available. Then definition of done. All of those things that we said we were going to do at the end of the project, have we been able to do them? Have we been able to execute them? Have we been able to tick them out? Are they available? Can we test? Are they live? That is definition of done. So when we say yes, 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 we know that yes, okay, we are done. So now let's go into it. We stopped at DoD last week, right? So I'm going to just start from DoD best practices. So what are some best practices that you should start doing when you are doing this is so funny, when you are practicing definition of done. So make it visible, just like we said with definition of ready, right? Make it visible. Whatever you want people to know. Sometimes you need to write it out. Sometimes you need to paste it on the wall. Sometimes you just need to put it some at a point where everybody can see it. You know, in some organizations, when you walk in, you see their vision and mission statement at the entrance, so that you know that, oh, this is what we do here. We do sell um um food here, or we do, so you understand what they are doing in that organization. So just make it visible, put it in a place where everybody can come in and see. Sometimes I know that some organizations, when you join meeting, they will tell somebody to recite the vision and mission of the state of the organization, so that as you are coming to the meeting, you know what we are doing here. So you make it visible, put it on your team's wiki. If you have like, probably you can even be on your group chat, you print it and hang it in your workspace so everyone sees it. Probably if you have like your own office with your own scrum team, you can just paste it in if you guys are not doing remote, right? You can just paste it in the office, so whenever they come, they will see it like, oh, this is our definition of done for this particular project that we are working on. Then you add it to the project management too. You can also add it to your project management too. Whenever anyone goes there to check out, they see the definition of done there. Then if people can see it, like I said earlier, if people can see it, they won't use it. They don't even know what we want to do, so they need to see it for them to use it. They need to see it for them to understand it. For example, me, I like when I see things than when I hear things. When I see things, I remember very well. than when I hear things. I may not remember things that were spoken, but things I see, oh God, I remember it very well. So the second thing is review it during Scrum calls. Every time you go on your get on the scrum call, your daily scrum calls, always review it with the team. Are we still on track? Are we doing what we said we were going to do? So when someone says it's done, ask them, is it DoD done or is it your own done? Because people have different versions of done, but we all have a universal definition of done. So ask them, is it our own, the team's definition of done, or what you think is done? So you need to ask those question. You also need to make it part of your team's vocabulary, that when a developer walks in, they know that this is our definition of done. When QA says, oh, this thing I tested it, and probably QA is not even certain what they tested, right? The developer can tell them that no, it is done. This thing that we said we are going to do, we've done it. We are very sure that we've done what we said we were going to do. Then you hold each other accountable, right? So everybody knows that, oh, this is your own part to play, this is the designer's part to play, this is the QA's part to play. Like everybody, you hold each other's, and why you are developing, why you are building that product. Do you understand? Now the third thing is update it as you grow. Scrum is about adaptability, right? It's about iteration, it's about increment. Do you get when we say incrementer? It's about putting things, adding things, so you update it as you grow. If you're an early stage startup, your DoD might be lighter, right? It may not be like so robust like that. But if you're an enterprise with millions of users, your DoD should be more rigorous, because now you are competing with a lot of people in the industry, and you're attending to users, like millions of users. You have to be considerate of their security, you have to be considerate of, do you understand me? So theirs may be more robust than probably early startup, where you are still in the flight mode. I mean, how do they say, you are just about to go. Do you understand me? So you have to be very, very mindful of updating your DoD as you grow. So you scale your DoD with your company maturity. So if your company is just one year, we like that there is vision, right? But at least for the time being, for that little area or little stage that we are, let it be as minimal as possible. Now the fourth thing is automate what you can. I like that. Okay, I wanted to say something, but automate what you can. So automated testing, automated deployment checks, limiting humans to start testing what, we have all these tools that you can use for automation. But then it sounds like we are taking jobs from humans when we say we want to start automating things. But then are we not looking for flexibility? Don't want to like test quickly. And okay, so yes, linting and code quality tools. So you should always like adopt those things so that you can make your work faster and more efficient. I'm not saying humans are not efficient too, but you get what I mean, right? All right. Now, how do you do DoD and DOR? There's always like a showdown, right, between DoD and DOR. So let's explain it. So let's just compare what DoD and DOR. I know I've explained, but let's look at them together now. So definition of ready is when you hear definition of ready, like I said earlier, when, before work starts, before anyone starts doing anything, before designers start doing anything, that is when we start defining our ready. Do you understand? Now question asked is, are we ready to start? Do we have the numbers of resources that we need on this project? Where are we going to be using for our meeting? Is it virtual? Is it going to be like hybrid? What is the setting going to be like? Who is going to be doing what on this project? So we are asking questions. Then the purpose, ensure work is well defined. Before we set out, we already know that designers, they do design, not designers now doing the work of a QA. Do you understand me? So everybody, we all know what we are there to do. Ownership, primarily PM. So definition of ready, it is primarily done by the PM, that's the product manager, but with team input. I explained this, you're not the only one. You have to get ideas from everybody, or else you bring something and everybody's looking at you like, so where do we come in all of this? So you have to include every of your team members in defining your ready. Now the focus, there is clarity, there is preparation, and there is planning. Everyone, we know that this is the direction we are heading towards. We know that, okay, this is everything that we need to plan, this is everything that we need to prepare. We get acquainted to one another. I know that this is my front end developer. I know that this is my probably we've not worked together before. So you understand there is focus, there is preparation, and there's planning. For example, do we have designs? Do we have acceptance criteria and dependencies? Are they identified? We need to ask all of those things before we set out. Now, for definition of done, when after work is completed. So, like I said, that one is before, right? This one is when we've developed that application. Okay, is it the MVP that we want to work on this month or for the next 2 months? We already have that. So after everything is done, after we've done all the tasks in our backlog, we say, okay, oh, definition of done. We have everything. This application is working as expected. No, so the question is, can we ship this? Okay, we said this thing is done, this thing is ready, we've tested, we've done everything. Can we ship this? Is this user friendly? Is the usability good? What is going to happen if we go outside? So we are asking all of those questions. What is the purpose? To ensure work meets quality standards. So you don't just want to ship out very not well defined products. So you want to be sure that whatever you are sending, competition is strong outside there. So you don't want to just push out watery products out there. Nobody's going to use it. So that is the purpose. Then ownership, primarily engineering, because you are the people that will help us to develop that product. I mean, to develop it. You are the people that are going to be writing the line of codes and ensuring that this one is doing this, the endpoint that is sent to the front end, they are integrating it, everything is working as expected. So yes, with team inputs too, but it's primarily with the engineering team, right? So the focus is quality. What are we shipping out? Is it industry standard? Completeness, is it complete? Hope nothing is breaking. Hope there are no bugs. Hope there won't be any delay on this application. So we want to be sure that it is complete. Production readiness, okay. Hope is not like when I ask my developer that, okay, can we test this? Say we can test. I'm testing on my Swagger. It's not your Swagger that I need though. So what's the production readiness? Have you deployed? Those are the things I want to know. So what's the example? Okay, is it tested? Is it reviewed? Have we reviewed that product? Have we documented and have we deployed? So think of it like making a sandwich. So DOR is making sure you have bread, you have meat, you have cheese, you have lettuce, excuse me, and you have condiments before you start making the sandwich. So that is DOR. Now DoD is making sure the sandwich is fully assembled. All of those ingredients, you have arranged everything together in the bread, inside the bread, and they are properly designed, they are properly arranged. Presentation is absolute. It's beautiful. You're not just doing anything that is looking one kind. So is it cut properly? The edges, are they trimmed properly? Is it plated nicely? Because you want to go and give customer now, and everything is just, the lettuce is outside, the cheese is this way, everything is looking funny. And is it ready to serve to a customer? So that is definition of done. So you see, both are necessary. You can't make a good sandwich without the both of them. So you have to do DOR and DOD. So you cannot make your sandwich without ingredients, and you cannot make your sandwich without all of those things working together, coming together. So how do they work together? So here's the beautiful thing, right? DOR and DOD create a workflow. Like they create a workflow. So now let us look at it. The work enters backlog. You got your BRD. Let's start from BRD. So you got your business requirement documents now. Now, those things that you have in the business requirements, you translate them or you transfer them or you create a PRD for them. Awesome. Now, you see those work, they will not enter your backlog. That is like the product backlog. That's the bucket, the container where we put all of our tasks, right? That's our product backlog. Now, what happens here is that as they are going, right, they don't meet DOR. They do not yet meet definition of ready. We just have task. We don't have task assignments. We don't have resources yet. We just know that we have tasks. We have a problem and we need to solve. Now, this is what happened. The product manager will now come on board to refine the work. Everything in that backlog, right? The product manager will come and start refining. Okay, there are going to be like 10 modules on this project. What are some of the things that have to fall inside each of the modules, right? For example, if you are going to be doing checkout, what is going to happen before checkout? You put it inside one box. Okay, this is module 8. All of those things. So we start refining it. And now, after that, you are creating like a user story for those tasks, right? Then you're going to create acceptance criteria. I hope you're not the product manager that will only write user story and don't write use acceptance criteria. So as you're writing your US, you're writing your AC, you're writing user story, you're writing acceptance criteria. So you get design, yeah. So you had your acceptance criteria, you had design, you do clarifying of requirements. So if there is some part that is not clear to you, you can still talk to your team members like, oh guys, or even if it is the business development person, like, oh, so this customer, probably you were not on the call when you got that requirement. You can go back to the business team and tell them that, okay, we really do not understand this thing. Is this thing meant to be like this? Is this what the client wants us to do? So you get clarification before you even set out to do anything. Now, after you've done all of those things, I hope it's getting clear, right? After you've done all of those things, now your work, that work that enters backlog, right? It now meets DOR, definition of ready. So you get that work now that is in your product backlog, you now move them into your sprints. So it's going to be inside the sprint backlog, right? Do we understand what I'm trying to say? So now from there, right, your engineer, they will start building, they will start picking. This is tasks for this sprint. Are we going to do 1 week, 2 weeks, or 1 month sprint? So they will start picking those things, those tasks as they are, and they will start building it. Now, the next thing is that it follows acceptance criteria. The acceptance criteria that we've already written for all of those user stories, everything we are building must meet the acceptance criteria. Now, when that happens, when those tasks they meet the acceptance criteria, guess what? The work now meets definition of done. You see, all along it has been definition of ready, but now that it meets acceptance criteria, it's now definition, like we are entering into definition of done. So we test, we review, we document, and we deploy. At that point, that is what we do. We test, we review, we document, and we deploy. And then from there, we ship our feature. We say, oh yeah, we ship the feature. The users can now start using it. So users are happy, team is happy, everyone wins. And that is what happened. Can you see like the collaboration between DoD and DOR and how we transition from DOR into DoD? So without DOR, without definition of ready, right? You know what happens? You get blockers and confusion during the sprint. A lot of back and forth is definitely going to happen. You will not be defining ready, you'll be defining blockers. So that's what happens when there is no DOR, definition of ready. And when there is no DoD, you get bugs because you did not test, you did not review. There are going to be bugs, there are going to be technical debts. I explained that last week. And also there are going to be like midnight emergency calls. You just see that, oh, there is a mail, there is a demo with the client tomorrow, and we need to quickly test. Is at 8 a.m. in the morning. We need to quickly, and you're seeing that bugs, something has crashed, something is not working, something is not responsive. So together, right, when you combine both DOR and DoD, what do you get? You get a smooth, predictable, high quality development process. That is what you get. So let me give you a real example from my own experience. So let's say we want to add password reset functionality to an application. Of course, I think most every application, well, maybe you people are building application that you don't do password reset, but most of the applications that I know, right, there is always provision for password reset because some of us we do change our password. The password I use for this one is different from this one. It's different I'm not saying I should use the same password across, but I just feel like some of us we don't really remember things very well. So now we've written the user story. User story is written. For example, let's say as a user who forgot my password. Yes, as a user who forgot my password, I want to reset it via email so I can regain access to my account. Can you see my user story? Even you say, I know that you are liking it, you are kissing it, like, see how user story is sweet. Very simple. Then the acceptance criteria is defined. Email should be sent within 30 seconds. Link should expire in 24 hours, etc. So I put all of those acceptance criteria there. Now design is done, it is approved. So there is a reset form, there is an email template, and there is also a success page for all of those steps. They will put the password, email confirmation that your password is now reset. You can log in back, and success page and all of that. Then the email service integration confirmed as possible. Do you see what the feature is? Add password reset functionality, and now we are just trying to see definition of ready checklist. Now security requirement documented, so we have like token generation, encryption, etc. Then for business value, it is clear because this will reduce support tickets. Imagine your customer is waiting for 1 hour I mean, for 24 hours for them to reset password, you will just be getting a lot of calls. They will just be disturbing you every now and then. You are opening tickets because you cannot do the simple thing. Then sprint happens and engineering, they build. So we move that task into the sprint and we build. Now, definition of done checklist for that my feature. So code is written and it follows standards. Code is reviewed by two engineers. Well, it depends on your organization. Oh. If you people have enough engineers, probably like 3 to 5 engineers can review, but at least two engineers should review the code. Unit test passing. So token generation confirmed, it's dropped, validation and expiration. So validation, you put it there, it accepts. Expiration, you said in the next 24 hours. If I should go back in 24.01 second, 24 hours, 0.01 second, right? And I use that code again. If you should accept it, do you know that it did not pass my acceptance criteria? So those are some of the things. Integration test passing. So email sending, do we receive email? Database update. Okay, at the back end, did we see the notification that a customer requested for a password reset? All of those things you have to put into consideration. So all acceptance criteria, they are all verified. Documentation updated. So user help docs, like you can use those ones. User help docs. I make use of user help docs and also API docs. So those are some of the things that you have to update as often as you can. Then you deploy to production. Don't say I should come and be testing your in your staging environment. I mean, in your test or development environment. I should come. Oh Lord. So you have to deploy to production. Then we test in the production environment. We test in the production environment. There are no critical bugs. To Jesus be our glory. And support team notified and trained that, oh, okay, oh, if anything like this happen and this thing is not happening, you just send out mail like, oh, we are currently working on, sometimes you get like over the weekend, I know that there are some banks, if they want to update their application, they will send you a mail probably on Friday that XYZ time to XYZ time, you won't be able to use the application because they want to upgrade XYZ. Do you understand? So everyone is trained so that there are no issues with users. Now, what is the result of combining DOR and DoD for this my feature? Feature ships smoothly. Users can reset passwords. Support tickets go down. Everyone is happy. So that's the power of DOR and DoD working together. Do we understand it now? Now, so how do you create your own? How do you create your DOR and DoD for your team? So I want to assume that probably you've never used DOR or DoD, right? So how do you create it? So I'm sure that with the explanation that I've given you, you should be convinced and not confused. So you should be convinced that, okay, maybe let me just do it. Let me just try. If it doesn't work, I'll come back and tell this babe that it did not work. Don't do it again. Do you get? So let's see how we create it. So the first step is that you schedule a team workshop. Get everyone in a room. Again, if you are working like on site, if it is hybrid, if it is remote, you can always do these things. So just get everyone, the PMs, engineers, designers, QA, everybody, just get everyone in a room on a call, make it collaborative. So this is not a top-down mandate. Get down from that your manager role. Please come and interact with the living things, the living beings, the human beings, right? So make it collaborative. You can even order pizza. You can order, if it is bread and beans they like, if it is yam and egg, whatever they want on the company's account, right? You can order it so that, because I understand that people cooperate better with food. I'm not saying that you guys are foodie, but me, I don't even like food. I don't today like this. I've not eaten at all. So, but I know that some people where if they don't see food, they cannot work very well. Now, step 2 is start with problems. There is one of my video where I mentioned that people are always jumping into solution without understanding the problem. You need to get familiar with the problem before you even rush into the solution. So we ask, what problems do we face when starting work? So this becomes our DOR. We ask again, what problems do we face when finishing work? This becomes our DoD. So even if you've never worked with those set of people before, they have experiences, right? This person is going to say, when we were working on XYZ project, this was what we experienced before we set out. And this person can say, oh, when we were done, this were some of the things. We gain experience, we had knowledge, we learn from each other so that we don't make those mistakes again. And we write down everything. So no judgments yet. We don't judge anybody yet, no judgment zone. So we just write all of those things down. Then the step 3 is identify patterns, group similar problems together. If these are some of the things that has been discussed, now put them together in a bucket. This you people, you are siblings. This is where you people belong to. Do you get? So you group similar problems together. Which ones happen most frequently? Is it during deployment? Is it when we struggle? Is it during writing of code? Is it like this front end developer? The person is always, you not just see the person is always out of service whenever you want to do your daily scrum call. So which one causes the most pain? Is it when the back end developer did not send the endpoint to the front end? Like, what are some of those things? So you have to identify patterns. Those are your priority. Now, step 4 is you draft your criteria. So for DOR, right, what needs to be true before work starts? That's what you want to draft, you want to write out. Now for DoD, what needs to be true before work ships? What needs to be clear? What do we say? Yes, this vision is clear. We've done, high five everybody. We've done what is expected. So we need to keep it to 5 to 10 items maximum for each of them. So this one 5, DOD 5, DOR 5, right? So be specific but not overly prescriptive. That is it. So you don't have to be like, oh, this is it. You have to be very, very specific. Now, the step 5 is you need to test it. You must test. So you use your new DOR and DoD for one sprint, right? Just as I've said, right? Whatever you don't see, you can't use. So now that you've decided that, okay, I'm going to do DOR and DoD on my next project, or probably in our next sprint, right? You now test it, see what works, what doesn't. This thing cannot work for my team. Everybody, no, everybody, we are anonymous, we don't work together, we work in isolation. So do you get? So you gather feedback from the team. This thing that I saw and I decided to implement, how do we get? Should we just remain as we are, or should we continue doing this thing? So you gather feedback from the team. Now the sixth step is that you refine and you iterate. So there is always like refinement, there is modification. I don't think there is any project that is absolute. There is no project that is perfect. The other day I was trying to like do something on our word based food app, and there was a glitch. I didn't pay for delivery because there was a glitch. It didn't capture it at the point of checkout, and I didn't pay for it. And that is like one of our best food app or food e-commerce application that we currently have. So you adjust based on learnings, remove items that are not helpful. It's not everything that will go. It's not everybody, it's not everything that is trending that should be on your product. Because it is on somebody else's product doesn't mean that your product is similar to what that person has built. It doesn't mean that you should put it on your product. So what is not necessary, please take it out. Don't confuse your users. And you add items that are missing. You will neglect those ones that are very, very essential. It is the one that is trending that you want to put on your application. It is not done that way. It is glamorous now. Later people will just abandon it because it is not what they want. They don't really want flashy, trendy. They want what works. That is what people want, and you make it yours. So that's it. Now the seventh step is document and share. So you put it somewhere everyone can access. If you are using SharePoint, put it there. If you are using Google Docs or something, just make it, put it somewhere that you cannot delete it, it cannot be easily deleted. If somebody should take up from you, they have access to it, right? And add it to your onboarding doc. So whenever probably there is a new what do they call this? I want to remember one word. New employees, not new employee. There's one video like that they always call it new entry warning like that. So whenever you have a new person on board, right, you can add it to your onboarding docs. Like, oh, this is what we are working on. This is our DORs and these are DODs, and everybody understands. So you reference it in sprint planning. When we say that, oh, we have 2 more days on to spend on this sprint, you ring it again. Okay, so the acceptance criteria for sign up, excuse me, have we ticked it? Have we done this? So you start listing it out, so everybody will remember that, I did not put that button. No, hey, I did not put the button to click on sign on. So how are we going to sign up on the application? Do you get? So you make it a living document. It's not something that you abandon. Every time you can always go back and adjust that document. Now, so what are some of the pro tips? Start simple. That is one thing I want to tell you. Start simple. You know, I was saying early startup and big company. If you're early startup, please start simple. Don't try to create the perfect DOR or DOD on day one. No, it doesn't work that way. So start with 3 to 5 items and grow from there. So perfection is the enemy of progress. Perfection is because you will keep tearing because you are looking for something that is perfect. Now, number two is make it visual. Create a poster, go on Notion page with check boxes, use all of those things, whatever your team uses really. So just make it a visual document. So because visual reminders work better than buried documentation. When they can see it, they understand it, they see it. Oh, there was a lion on that document. Our product manager, she put a lion, that she's a rare lion. So they understand, they see it every time. And assign a champion. So you also assign a champion, one person on the team that you know that person, they cannot, they will always tell that somebody did not do their work. You know, there's always somebody like that on our team. So you assign a champion, have someone, usually the product manager or scrum master, let them be the keeper of DOR and DoD. So they remind the team, enforce it during planning, and lead the quarterly reviews. So you ensure that you have somebody that will be managing our DOR and DoD documents. Then the fourth one is don't be dogmatic. Don't be dogmatic. Sometimes you will need to bend the rules. Don't be like iron lady. It is even iron do bend. Iron you do usually bend. So don't be dogmatic. Sometimes you need to bend the rules. Maybe there is a critical bug fix, right? That can't wait for full DOR. That's okay. That's okay. Just make it the exemption, not the rule. Just say this one alone. I will allow this one to fly. The next one like this. If you guys don't do it, I'm going to escalate. Yes, yes, that's what I'm going to do. So the fifth one is celebrate compliance. Hey, you did 2 circles alone and you did regression and QA say it is okay. Please go and take your team members out. Go and party. Go and party. Like you need to celebrate compliance when a story moves through the workflow cleanly because DOR and DoD were followed. Oh my God, call it out. Celebrate it. So because the truth is positive reinforcement, right? It works wonders. When you see me, like for example, if you drop comments today, like, oh Tammy, I really enjoyed this video. Do you think that I will not come to next week to come and dash you people money? I'll come now. So you celebrate compliance. Then the next thing is you learn from failures. There are going to be time when things did not go as planned, right? But you just learn from it. Don't let it beat you down. After you think about it for like 2 seconds, change your move. Say, we have overcome. Do you get it? So when something goes wrong, like you miss your deadline, production bugs, scope creep, you ask, would better DOR or DoD have prevented this? But you know what? Just learn from it. So use failures to improve your criteria. Then avoid some of this pitfall, creating them in isolation. You alone, product manager, you alone, you will write, you will put timeline for developers. You're not even considering them. Now, how long is it going to take? So don't work in isolation. Don't do that. Don't create these things in isolation. The PM writes DOR and DoD alone and send it to the team via Slack. Who are you? Who are you? Don't do that. So you know what you need to do is, and it's going to fail because nobody bought into it because they weren't part of creating it. So the fix it, make it collaborative. Your team needs to own these definitions, not just follow others. I want to see on the documents that, oh, this is my contribution to it. Do you get? So me too, I'll have shoulder pad or something like, oh, I also contributed to the growth of this department or the development team. So the second one is making them too rigid. Please, it's not meant to be too rigid. Every single item must be checked or the work doesn't move forward. No exemptions. No exemptions. We have to cross our T's and dot our I's. So the reason why it fails is because reality is messy. What you have, the customer that you went to visit last week, they might have changed their mind. So reality is messy. Sometimes you need flexibility. Sometimes designers are not 100% final, but you can still start even without your designers giving you absolutely what you want. The fix, build a room for judgment calls. Build a room for judgment calls. So maybe you have required items and recommended items. What you need to do is you just use your common sense. Do we understand? Now, another one is never updating them. You are always meant to update your DORs and your DoD's documents. So you should always update them. You don't have to just leave it there and it's not a living document. So always ensure that it's a living document. Skipping them when urgent work appears because there is an urgent need. You people will now say we are not doing DOR, we are just going into it. Don't worry, we are perfect. We'll go into it. My dear, so many things are gonna happen and you're not gonna like it. Another one is treating them as a bureaucracy. You don't have to do that too. So you say extra work or red tape is an extra work and is a red tape that will slow our team down. No, so it's not like it's bureaucracy and all of that. Just make adjustments, be flexible. Like I said last week, it's not like a one size fits all. You can always make adjustments, different teams, different DOR, different project, different DODs. So there are also some metrics that you need to like make use of. I have a video on metrics. You can always go there to look at which one will work for your team. So we can always do that. So that is that about. So how do you know your definition of ready is actually helping? So you can track absolutely so many metrics for you to know that, oh, this definition of ready is working, or this definition of done is working. So that is it. So you can do all of those mean sprints blockers. You can do clarification questions during sprints. You can do sprint commitment accuracy. You can do rework rate. And so when your DOR is good, right? How do you know that this thing is successful? Production bugs, count bugs found after deployment. You can count. If it is very, very high, then you know that it is not working. Rollback rate. So how often do you have rollback deployment? If it is often, then you know that, this document that we created is not working. Time to production. So how long from code complete to in production? You have to look at it. Oh, it takes like 6 months. Jesus, that's a lot. So technical debt accumulation. Are you cutting corners? What are you trying to do? Instead of you getting more developers, more resources, you are trying to say let's manage, let's manage. Someday somebody will be tired and the work would the burn rate will be so crazy and you won't be able to manage it. So that is it. So there are some other things that you can do to actually check that your DOR and your DOD is actually working. You can also ask your team, do you feel confident about the quality of the work that we are shipping? You can just see somebody by the hallway and yes, what's up? How far? Do you feel confident about this product? That do you believe that it's actually the next big thing? So if the answer is yes, your DOR and your DOD are working. But if it is not really, well, we still have a lot of things to do, then you know that exactly you have a lot of things to do. So, all right, product manager, definition of ready and definition of done might seem like extra process, but trust me, right? They are investments that pay off massively, like massively. So DORs, they save you from chaos during development, but DOD, they save you from chaos after the development or after deployment rather. So together they create a smooth, predictable workflow where everyone knows what is expected at every stage of development. We already know that, oh, this is what I need to do, this is what you need to do. So yes, I think that is it really. I want you to start working on doing your own DORs and also DOD. So quick recap rather. What have we talked about today? DOR, entrance criteria. What are we saying about DOR? Are we ready to start? And DOD, the exit criteria is, are we ready to ship? So both are team agreements. It is not product manager's mandate. It's not my mandate. You will start. It is everybody's agreement. So you keep them simple, visible, and you make sure that they are adaptable, right? So you measure success through reduce blockers, fewer bugs, and team confidence. So you see, we've really spoken a lot. It feels like I'm speaking in parables, or I don't speak in italics. But yes, it feels like I've said a lot, but I just want to make your work more efficient. So if you found this helpful, smash that like button. It really helps the algorithm god smile upon us. When you do like, so many other people can see our video, then you need to subscribe. Subscribe if you want more videos about some of these things that goes on in product management, so that my content, our content will make life easier. And you can also drop a comment. I love reading from you guys. So does your team use DOR and DOD? So how is it working for you? If they don't use them, why? What's holding you back? So I read every comment and I actually love hearing from all of you. So you can always drop me a comment. So that's it for today. I've spoken too much. If you watched to this point, to be honest, shout out to you. I love you so so much. So that's it for today. Until next week, keep building great products. Keep your DOR tight and even your DOD tighter. And remember, done is not four-letter word. Literally, it's actually four-letter word. Yeah, DON. But it's not, right? But you understand what I mean. So I see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. Bye.